participants for 6 days state level workshop on research and publication ethics. Today we have eminent speaker, Professor J. Madegowda sir. I am going to introduce in brief about sir. Professor J. Madegowda sir is at present work as professor in the Department of Business Administration, Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysore. Sir is hailing from an agriculture family in Mandya district. Sir his early education in different institutions in Mandya district. He took his M.Com degree in 1980 from the University of Mysore with first class and first rank, and he has received 2 gold medals. Sir has started his teaching career as lecturer in 1980 with the postgraduate center Davangere, University of Mysore. And when this PG center has become a part of newly established Kuvempu University, his service were transferred to Kuvempu University, wherein he worked as a reader and professor till his superannuation in February 2018. After the superannuation, he worked as professor and dean academic, Akshara Institute of Management Studies, Shumaga for 4 years. So far, he has published more than 75 research articles in the journals of repute and 25 books. Further, he has presented many research papers at different national and international level conference, seminars, etc. Besides organizing more than 24 seminars, conferences and workshops, he has also guided 25 candidates in their MPhil and PhD degree. Professor Madegowda sir has also served as Kuvempu University as its finance officer and vice chancellor for few months. He has also served as member of different bodies of Kuvempu University such as Academic Council, Senate, Syndicate, Finance Committee, etc. And as the Chairman Board of Studies, Board of Examiners, Dean Faculty of Commerce, Director School of Business Studies, etc. Sir has worked as the Director of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Board, Coordinator of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Chairman, Department of Business Administration and Tourism Administration of Kuvempu University for years. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir, for this session, and I hand it over the session to the sir.
Good morning to all of you, and a very warm welcome to each one of you for this 1.5 hour session on 2 important interrelated sessions. One is the academic integrity, and the second one is the plagiarism, which is haunting almost all research scholars throughout the country. Friends, I will not be able to cover all aspects of this in 90 minutes time. Still, I'll try to do justice to this topic, covering the important aspects with a few examples of plagiarism detection tools, how it gives erroneous reports. Friends, this is the structure of my presentation. So initially I will be covering a few background aspects about higher education, research activities, etc. Then the applicability of UGC regulations on plagiarism. Then about the curbing of plagiarism. Then the levels of plagiarism. Then the plagiarism detection, reporting and handling. Then the 2 committees at the university levels. And finally, penalties for plagiarism, and followed by a few examples based on the realities. Friends, now if you look at the developments at the national level, you will find a substantial improvement, development in almost all areas since the independence of the country. Now the fact that this university now has more number of laptops than the manual computers that the whole country had at the time of independence. This is an indication. You will find this type of remarkable developments in almost all areas. These developments assume importance if you realize the constraints within which the country is functioning. And this is true even in the case of education, more particularly higher education. If you look at a few statistics, comparison between 1950, 51 and 21, 22, you'll find the increase in the number of universities from 30 at the time immediately after the independence to 1043. Of course, most of the universities are suffering from the lack of adequate finance. This is more true in the case of state public universities. Similarly, we find the increase in the number of colleges just from 695 to 42,343, in addition to 11,779 institutions of national importance. Then we have the student enrollment, which increased from 3.97 lakh to 385 lakhs. And the number of teachers in higher educational institutions increased from 23,549 to 15,03,156. These are some of the statistics which signify the developments in higher education. Still, it is not adequate. Not adequate because a gross enrollment for higher education is only about 27.1% of eligible candidates. The candidates in the age group of 18 to 23 years. That means the major portion of 72.9% of the eligible candidates are deprived of higher education. Therefore, the developments are not adequate, not satisfactory. Friends, as far as higher education is concerned, now most of the colleges and universities are offering both UG and PG programs. Now totally 196 programs of studies are offered by the higher educational institutions. 196 programs. And out of these, only 10 programs are attracting about 79% of the students enrolled for higher education. Only 10 programs out of 196 have got 79% of the students enrolled for these 10 programs of studies. At UG level, even today, BA is the most attractive one, with the 32.7% enrollment, followed by BSc, then BCom. Of course, now the BCom is planning to overtake both BSc and BA. Because it has started increasing the enrollment. And only 10 out of these institutions, only 4% of the institutions have more than 3,000 enrollment each. And 16.6% of the institutions have less than 100 enrollment. I do not know how these institutions are going to survive with this less than 100 institutions without a government budgetary allocation. And Bangalore district of Karnataka has the highest number of colleges in the country. with 1,009 colleges in Bangalore urban district. And the college density, that is the number of colleges per 1 lakh eligible population. College density in the country varies from just 7 colleges in Bihar to 59 again in Karnataka. This is a commendable achievement when we compare this with the national average of only 30 colleges per lakh eligible population. Friends, now we have both UG colleges, undergraduate, then the university PG departments, etc. PG departments are confining more or less only to the postgraduate programs. And recently, the government started permitting the UG colleges also to offer PG programs in addition to their UG. And 35.04% of the colleges are now offering even the PG programs in addition to UG programs. And these 35% of the colleges which are offering the PG are also eligible to offer PhD program. But only 2.7% of these colleges are offering PhD program in addition to university PG departments. And friends, the number of universities, now during the last 10 to 15 years, a few developments took place in the higher education. More specifically, the University Grants Commission, even AICTE, and other regulatory bodies in the field of higher education, like MCA, now they linked doctoral degree and the number of research papers published for recruitment, for promotion, for award of a PhD degree, etc. This linking has resulted in a substantial increase in the number of doctoral degrees awarded. So it increased from 7,438 in 84-85 to 38,986 in the year 2019-20. And at the global level, the country stands at the 4th place in terms of a number of PhDs produced annually. And within the country, both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka share the first 2 ranks in terms of a number of PhDs produced. Friends, this is the graph which provides a few statistics about the continuous increase in the number of PhDs awarded by the institutions in the country from one year to another. Friends, in addition to this successful award, another 2.03 lakh candidates have registered for PhD degrees in different institutions and universities. And the maximum number of registration is for the science streams like chemistry, mathematics, physics, etc. Followed by engineering and technology. And out of the total number of candidates enrolled for PhD program, 29.8% have enrolled in state public universities, 23.2% in state institutes of national importance, then 13.9% in deemed to be universities, and another 13.6% in central universities. One of the important reasons for this difference is the capacity to take, depending upon the number of qualified guides. and also the fee structure. This is more important. Then out of the total enrollment for PhD, 1.79 lakh candidates have enrolled in universities and the constituent colleges, and the remaining 24,185 in other institutions like affiliated colleges or autonomous colleges. Friends, now this is another important aspect. Of course, now the University Grants Commission has withdrawn its earlier circular, which made the publication of at least one paper before submission of a PhD thesis. Earlier, the publication of at least one research paper prior to the public submission of a PhD thesis was mandated. Now it has been withdrawn, but still majority of the universities are continuing with increase in the number of research papers to be published for submission of a PhD thesis. Some universities prescribe 2 research papers, 3, 4, depending upon the quality. And most importantly, all these institutions require the publications in the recognized journals. Say for example, Scopus Index, ABDC, Web of Science, or UGC Care List. Some universities require more than this. But the difficulty is, most of these recognized, reputed journals charge a fee called article processing fees. A few journals charge even much more. Submission fee first, then the article processing. If you want a physical copy of your journal, you have to pay extra. So varieties. And this APC, article processing charge, in some cases runs to 11 to 12 lakh rupees. And there is no guarantee that your paper will be published. To submit, you have to pay the amount. And acceptance or rejection depends upon the reports from the reviewers. Now anyhow, keep this point in your mind and search for the recognized journals which do not charge article processing fees. Because there are many, but majority of the journals are published by the private authorities. Say you take any journal published by Emerald. Now, all journals are priced in terms of say 5,000 US dollars or 6,000 pounds. 6,000 rupees, okay, you can pay, but not pounds. And the second important aspect is, now there is an increase in the number of, in spite of this, there is an increase in the number of research papers published because of linking the publications to the recruitment, to CAS, to award of submission of a PhD thesis, etc. And this has also contributed to the birth of a large number of online journals, paid journals. If you submit your article through online and pay the amount, tomorrow, before you wake up, your article will be published online. Don't try to publish in this type of a journal.